Be ready. 15 seconds. Mr. Deputy Chairman, Sir, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. This address by the President is well drafted, well documented, and well intentioned. It is not a hazy illusion but rather a document in reality. What is the thinking of the government? What is the government doing? They are contained in this address. Our Prime Minister wants to transform this country into a strong, educated, and modern country. With this aim in view, he wants to harness science and technology and other techniques. Now, some of the members from the opposition said, what is the need of repeating the words socialism and secularism, etc.? If you have to practice all good things, you have to repeat them. A Hindu goes to mandir so many times. A Muslim repeats namaz 5 times a day, and the Christian goes to the church. The reason is that he should do those good things. So, with that in view, we have to remind the people about the socialism, about the secularism. Now, the vision of this government was the vision of Mahatma Gandhi, vision of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and of late Srimati Indira Gandhi. We want to continue on the same path shown by these great leaders. Now, some of the members from the opposition pointed out there is a contradiction in our foreign policy statement regarding United States of America. Actually, there is no contradiction. We are a non aligned nation and we have to maintain a balance. If we want to be very friendly with one bloc, we have to be friendly with other bloc also. No doubt we value the friendship with Soviet Russia and there is a long paragraph on that. Since we are the leader of the non-aligned nations, we also have to improve relations with United States. But we are not an ally of any power and therefore we have pointed out where the United States is committing mistakes when they are arming Pakistan. We say that America is doing a wrong thing and not a right thing. Now, on the Afghanistan issue, one of the honorable members has pointed out that it is a childish sort of suggestion made by India. But he does not realize that in the political game of Afghanistan, there were only two powers, two superpowers, Russia and America. As America is playing the chess through Pakistan, which may prove dangerous for us. It is to the credit of our government, to the credit of our Prime Minister that when Russia announced return of army from Afghanistan, they conveyed that to India and also the American Deputy Foreign Minister has come to consult our Prime Minister to find the real good and permanent solution to Afghanistan issue. By that, India has gained in the world politics. Regarding Sri Lanka issue, some members pointed out that we have done the same. But actually, there was no other alternative left for us. that was the best option for India. At that time, there was a vacuum in Sri Lanka, and this vacuum would have been filled either by any superpower or by Israel or by any other power, and in that case, what would have been the political and strategic position of India? Therefore, we sent the Indian forces to Sri Lanka not to conquer but to bring normalcy and order in the framework of the constitution of that country, and for that also, for the first time, the Tamilians were given their right to vote and everything required in the normal life of the Sri Lanka government. It was a right move at that time. The person who takes initiative in any matter would meet with some resistance in the beginning, but I think the Sri Lankan policy of the government of India will succeed, and peace and normalcy will come to Sri Lanka. Coming to the internal policy, this government of our Prime Minister has stood through two grim tests. One is forced by nature, and another is hatched by conspirators. The first is the drought and floods. The country has passed through the unprecedented drought and floods this time, and instead of wasting time on non issues, our Prime Minister tackled the floods and drought situation with all the might of the government, and everything was mobilized, and nobody was allowed to die due to hunger, and all help was given to the needy. The second is the conspiracy to topple this government, the conspiracy to actually defame the Prime Minister. In India, all the political parties move round the political leaders. The people have said that we are not socialists and that we are forgetting socialism. But in the address, we have given all prominence to the public sector and to the development of the poor, of the downtrodden. This is the goal of our government. There might be some faults in the public sector. I think everywhere in the world the public sector is not being properly manned in the socialist countries, including our country also. Now I would like to mention Nagaland was a disturbed area for 20 years. Even now we have the NSCN and the Federal Group of Underground People. When I was Chief Minister with the permission of late Mrs. Indira Gandhi and the present Prime Minister, I initiated to contact them, and I have succeeded to a large extent. I told them that whether it is the federal group, they are Nagas, they are Indian citizens. If we kill each other, it amounts to fratricide, it is civil war. How can you entertain civil war in your own state, among your own people, among your own brothers? So it is always good to bring them together, bring them to the talking table so that a solution can be worked out. The Prime Minister, during his last visit to Nagaland, has also said that the door is open for talks within the framework of the Constitution of India. But at the same time, I read the paper that there will be a joint operation of the Burmese army and the Indian army. On the one side, you are saying you join us, on the other side, again, you want to use dandas. Is it peaceful approach? I would request the Prime Minister to see whether this is a pragmatic approach.